Hello everyone, this is Ernesto with Aftershoot. Today I'm with my beautiful wife Antonella.
Hey!
And today I am going to show you why I think the 70-200 is the best lens you can ever get for all your portrait needs. Let's get started. Okay, so let's get one thing out of the way immediately, because I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, yeah, 70-200 lenses are amazing, but they're also extremely expensive. And you guys are right. The original Sonys, Nikons, or Canons are very expensive lenses, but there's some good third-party options out there. I myself used to own the Tamron 70-180. Granted, it's not 70-200, but I was only missing 20 millimeters on the long end, and that was an amazing lens. Sigma also has a cheaper version, a 70-200 that goes for the Sony system, and just like I was saying, there's a lot of third-party lenses that are amazingly good and way cheaper than the original Sony, Canons, and Nikons. Budget-wise, you have some options. Okay, so the first thing you gotta know about 70-200s is there is no wide angle end of the lens. Let me make that clearer. Whatever photo you take at whatever focal length with a 70-200 is gonna be accurate and it's not going to distort your subject, so that is already a plus for this kind of lenses. Okay, so another great thing about 70-200s has to do with background blur. At 200 millimeters, you are going to get an extremely blurry background. So if you like creamy backgrounds, this lens is definitely for you. At 200 millimeters, you're gonna get a much more out of focus background than a 50 millimeter f1.8 lens can give you. Or maybe you have a 35 millimeter f1.2. Still, at 200 millimeters, at 2.8, you're gonna get a much creamier background. Let me show you. Right now, I'm gonna shoot some photos at 70 and some photos at 200 so you guys can see the difference within the background blur at 200 millimeters from 70 millimeters. Let's just do it. Another good thing about 70-200 lenses is you have a lot of range, which means you can give your subject much more range of movement. Which, for instance, if you want to get a photo of your subject walking towards you, you can start at 200 millimeters and then you can go all the way down to 70 millimeters, which is going to give you a lot of space for your subject to move or walk. So the idea is to get a full body shot of her walking, and because I can start at 200 and go all the way to 70, I can get much more options than if I had like a 24-70 or a just shorter distance lens. Let's do it. Now, one thing to take into consideration, and that's very important, is this is a very large, intimidating lens. So if you're working with someone that's not used to being photographed, this might scare them a little because it just looks so big. That's what she said. But when working in a more professional environment, when you show up with big gear, a lot of people tend to take you more seriously. And I know that sounds stupid, because in the end what matters is the quality of the images you provide, the quality of your photography work. But sometimes there's some people that judge you by the equipment you have. So when you show up with a big lens, that's a big plus for them. They want to see what they're paying for. So having such a big lens can be a pro, but it can also be a con, so you be the judge of that. Now, touching back on the lack of warp at any focal length with this lens, what this also means is this is a perfect lens for very tight portraits. I can go to 200, I can get as close as I want to my subject, and I can get like a very tight portrait, knowing that I'm not gonna warp them or distort them or do anything weird, and I don't have to be too close to them to make them feel uncomfortable. So that's it. Those are some reasons why I consider the 70-200 to be the king of portrait lenses. Now, like I said in the beginning, don't let the price discourage you. There are some great third-party options that deliver some amazing results. So if you don't want to spend so much money on the Sony or the Nikon or the Canon version, check those out. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to follow Aftershoot in all of our social media to be always up to date with the latest we have to offer. See you guys in the next one. Bye.